Good morning. Late night of wild weather. Um, Joining in. Take a look at what's been going on. Just a second. We've had quite a bit of severe weather today. Happened, at least in our neck of the woods. We don't say in our area. We know that Kentucky just got absolutely slammed today with tornadoes and some very heavy wind. That includes, but definitely not limited to, Somerset, Kentucky, which I would highly recommend keeping in your prayers. They got absolutely wrecked by what probably will come out to be EF3, EF4 tornado today. Actually had a couple of tornadoes roll through that area today, and so keep them in our thoughts and our prayers for sure. But a lot of this line did exactly what it said it would do, right? The day before, we had so much activity in Wisconsin and Illinois and Michigan, and today it was forecasted that the same type of weather pattern, not the same exact line, but that type of low pressure system mixing with this high system coming in with its cooler air would start wrapping up some helicity in our atmosphere and spin some tornadoes out of it. So we have seen that, and at the moment, we can take a look at what we're looking at in our neck of the woods, as it were. We've had a few spin up supercells over our location, and currently just saw quite a heavy downpour with some lightning in our area. Threw down some pretty heavy lightning. Owl stuff going on. Yeah, and at the moment, Shelbyville, let's check in our friends in Shelbyville real quick. You actually see that there is a storm right on top of you. Shelbyville. There's one north of Tullahoma, one north of Lynchburg, one heavy storm out in Winchester area. And so we're looking at the moment, actually. You can take a look at what's happening in. Well, doesn't look like much at the time. Pretty clear sky at the moment, but we see lightning in the background. Shelbyville. You're about to see a storm. Tullahoma, you got one of the north of you. You probably see some lightning here in just a second. In fact, they're right here. Be able to see. Strike me. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But you can take a look at our current radar, what we're looking at, and I'll try and stay with you as much as possible, so I either pass out or we can concretely say, hey, what we're looking at the rest of the night is nothing too heavy. So we do see some lines of storms that were once in Arkansas, and some actually even in the Kentucky area have made their way through the Nashville area. And are moving sort of a southeastern direction. So, see that line here kind of moving that direction. Might catch the tail end of these storms. Something here. That was previously in Dixon area. Move through places like Lewisburg. If they actually hold up, that's the whole thing about this line of storms that we have seen today. That's what we've seen with these storms today. Some of them have fizzled out. Unfortunately for Somerset, did not happen. In fact, the tornado just grew and grew and grew. It was a pretty dangerous situation. We'll see these little spin-ups continue to happen, actually. I think our atmosphere is pretty ripe with spin-up or not spin-up activity, but some pretty severe storm activity. We had a pretty high Cape still at the midnight hour. In fact, we can even see, as we've been talking, more of these little pop-up storms start to develop. So what I really want to put an emphasis on are the storms still heading somewhat this way from the Mississippi area. There's still some storm fuel in this area as it heads a little bit more in the northeasterly direction. We want to make sure that they don't turn into anything too severe. Of course, we are under, as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, ticker that we have issued at 11 o'clock tonight, or 11:09. A tornado watch for this area until 3 a.m. You can actually put this up now officially. Tornado watch in your areas, atmospheric conditions, ability, storm severity, etc., and weather models detail a risk of a tornado developing with the current cells that are popping up. This is not a tornado warning. Difference is, we've said it before, it's like going to your kitchen, wanting to take a break. Or, oh my, I'm sorry, my brain right now. Wanting to bake a cake. That's not even close, y'all. Want to bake a cake. You have all the ingredients in the kitchen. Don't have a cake. So you make tornado watches. You have the ingredients for a tornado, but it's not yet a tornado. One can spin up, one cannot. We're going to see how our cap does with these. I don't think we're going to get much more than you lightning riddled storms out of this. At least I'm hoping. But as we see, every storm starts with blips. See that pretty evidently here. So as our storms have started here, they have gained strength heading into Daisy, areas like that, heading into Dunlap, Whitwell. So our storms actually grew in strength and developed way past our area. So you see some of these cells start developing closer to the Lawrenceburg area, Pulaski area. See some pretty strong storms here tonight. So, but we'll keep an eye out for them. Good lightning show. Shelbyville. Out here. Yeah. Good lightning show happening in Shelbyville at the moment. Also got look at Linville, Tennessee. It also has been having some lightnings. Been go with it. I love this this Cameron Wilson app. The fact that there's a lot of dust and there's happening. We can actually see that in our Tullahoma cam. Yes, there is, but there's the raindrops are beating off camera base, and kind of looks like just bugs. It's not. It's rain. At the moment, so we're going to go back to our triple cam here while we stay in view of these storms developing. So once again, had some pretty wicked activity happening in the Kentucky area today. Many, many lives have been changed. Wow. Actually, see, I was going to go see a camera in Pikeville. Getting slammed as well. West Virginia is definitely getting hit with some high winds and nice storm here. We'll also try and stream as long as we have power. Had some flickering wow. So we're looking at places like Hohenwald and Linville, Tennessee. Pretty much bone dry. I could show you Lynn. This is Linville at the moment. I don't see a drop of precipitation. But it is just underneath pretty rowdy stuff. In fact, they had some cells try and come through. But look at this line, and 15 miles away, say in Linville, bone dry. 30 miles east, Homa, feeling it. Works, right? Weather. Oh, we just saw a storm pop up here. You can actually see it as it walks in. Fayetteville. So, knowing our atmosphere at the moment, watch this cell as it moves this way into Estill Springs. It's going to grow. We're probably going to have, actually, most of the lines today, this motion, have a storm that does this. We'll watch it as it goes. We'll see if I'm right. But just a little further north, that would have been one of those storms I was talking about. That will shoot up. That'll shoot up and then head into our area. You know, in the early hours of this morning. Means, you know. So we're watching these storms as they pass through. Some blips happening here once again. Just tuning in. I honestly think that most of these storms, if they survive, will hit us somewhere around the 3 o'clock area, possibly 4 o'clock. Most of these are going to be out here. In western Mississippi, and they'll travel through northern Alabama, the Florence area. And they'll try and hit this area sometime within the next 2.5 hours or so. This is Tullahoma at the moment. We just saw a nice downpour come through. Sprinkle still happening. Here is Shelbyville. This lightning show happening. Here's the thing we need to look at as well. Storms roll through. When rain happens, you usually see that drop in temperature as the outflow boundary will typically take away some of that threat and the instability in the atmosphere by cooling off the atmosphere. However, we're still sitting at 75 degrees after a couple storms have rolled through. So there is still tons of storm juice. That's something I won't say again, I promise. We still see some storm fuel. That's way better. For storms to develop, even after these storms have rolled. So we will keep an eye on these that are rolling through. Again, Kentucky got slammed earlier this evening. Back the Somerset region saw what was quite possibly EF4 is what we're calling it. Could possibly reach higher than that. I mean, Somerset was just destroyed. Had a couple of tornadoes roll through. The first that happened left a lot of people homeless. Let's just be honest. And then the second one that rolled through had a lot of large hail with it. And so, life-threatening situation that happened in Somerset, Kentucky, earlier this evening. Keep them in our prayers. What's rolling through Nashville and Franklin, actually just went through Nashville, but Franklin about to hit Murfreesboro. Actually, watch this as it goes. You can see this line try and extend to the south as it heads further to the east. So we will keep an eye on that as well. It's just what the models predicted for as well. About this hour, about the 1 o'clock hour, we start to see a lot of action. So we're keeping an eye on all of it. The good thing is, you know, a place to turn when the weather gets like this, and you know something to share with relatives and friends that you know in these areas. That if something were to happen, you know that we would be there covering anything that. At the moment, we're just seeing thunderstorms, though, which is a good thing. We'll see what happens with the temperature, our dew points, humidity, all that. See if I can find a good camera. Well, oh. So there's also a concept of, well, it's not a concept, it's the more lightning that's in a storm. More dangerous you know that it is. We can tell, actually, this is Arkansas. So check out the lightning that's associated with this. Should be in this. Pull up something. If you can see above my head, right there is well, I think they call it Helena, not Helena, but right above me. And what you're watching is the storms to the south pass by. A lot of lightnings. Going back to lightning within the storm. Causes these lightning strikes is the warm moisture interacting with ice particles in the atmosphere, causing friction in the atmosphere, which causes electrical charges to go off. You know that the energy from the heat has to go somewhere. Sometimes it's cloud to cloud. In fact, most of what you see is cloud to cloud lightning. Sometimes it will actually travel from the cloud to earth, cloud to ground. But more lightning strikes you see, you know, the more energy that the storm still. That's why a lot of tornadic activity, man, what a show you're getting. Why you tune in? See lightning. I get it. But wow. You think about the energy that it takes to produce a thunderstorm, and the more that you see lightning strikes happening. Gotta adjust this thing. I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. Better. Better. Beautiful. So the more energy that we see in the atmosphere, the more lightning strikes we see, the more dangerous these storms become. So Helena at the moment. Then we head back to Shelbyville. Lightning outside of Shelbyville. Shelbyville looks like it's picking up a lot of where this is pointing. Anybody know where this is? Shelbyville, where it's pointing? So trying to get another camera of this. Because if it keeps up in strength, keeps up its same pace, we start seeing this roll into our area. See some pretty strong storms. I can't find one. So we're seeing some pop-ups come up. The Fayetteville storm, as expected, started spreading out. Let's see if I was correct. Heads into if you're looking at the lightning strike, the Shelbyville camera might be pointed towards the Manchester area. A lot of lightning involved with that storm in Manchester right now. So take a look. Wow. Put that up there. Man, that's if I can put that up there. Coming out of Laurel County, Kentucky from earlier today. My goodness. Wow. And if you're just tuning in, we've seen a lot of activity in Kentucky today. Kentucky hit with a lot of strong storms, including several tornadoes. The Somerset area, which is right here, got hit with a couple of tornadoes. One of them believed to be EF4, possibly even EF5. Absolutely just destroyed. Honestly, it's kind of scary that Kentucky hasn't really seen that type of damage in a few years. For some people, even a lifetime. Oh, here, let's take a look at this. Yeah. This is out of that Somerset, Kentucky storm tornado that rolled through. I'm going to see after this if I can find a shot. There's a great shot of a photo taken of the actual tornado, and it was massive. Oh, scary. Y'all be praying for him. That's a lot of damage over a large area. Yeah. This is at the airport. The London, Kentucky airport here took a huge hit, and you can see the medevac and the air evac and the PHI medical choppers destroyed at the London Corbin Airport. So, happened. Storm. And just pray there. There it is. There's the picture I wanted to show y'all. This is the actual image of the tornado that went through Somerset, Kentucky this evening. Terrifying. This is why I felt the need to start doing what though we might not have any weather that we see that does this kind of damage at the moment. Always a possibility, and especially as tornadoes and strong storms. I know that earlier today, in fact, near, let's see, where's it at? Near the Hopkinsville area of Kentucky, had straight line winds of almost 100 miles an hour. No tornado, just that line that we saw roll through Kentucky produced 100-mile-per-hour winds. And it was a line. It was probably 40 miles of a whole entire line. That did close to, well, it was low EF1 level tornado damage along that 40 miles. And I started doing this because it doesn't hurt to have multiple eyes on these things. Whether you watch somebody else, whether you watch when I stream, a lot of people have cut the cable, so to speak. And their only form of getting notified are iPhone apps that have the ability to notify you when something is in your area. However, some of those apps, and I'll be quite honest, they do a good job, but sometimes are delayed. Service that you have. I know for a fact that Somerset tornado was tornado warned about 2 minutes too late. Should have been warned a little bit earlier than it was. So having somebody with eyes on a radar that you can just check in, see, is a good thing to have. And if I can save a few lives while doing it, I've always been fascinated with weather. I'm going to look at the radar anyways, so I might as well help people. And the way that it works best is to share it. Say, hey, when severe weather comes, check this out. It'll help you get through it, especially if you have storm anxiety. I know that's a very real thing. Yeah. Very dangerous situation in Kentucky today. My son is actually, let's see how far he was from that. "40 miles north of Somerset. So it was pretty close to home for me. Bet your life on the fact that I was watching that Somerset tornado, as I had a son in college. Goes to Center College, and he's 40 miles north of that EF4 tornado that ripped through Somerset today. So we just shared some photos. If you want to rewind this and take a look at that, we showed some damage from that storm that rolled through Kentucky today. Pretty bad situation for a few folks. I was halfway right with my Estill Springs prediction. The storm did grow. So Estill Springs, you get a strong storm here within the next 5 minutes. Does have some lightning attached to it. Oklahoma, you just had a rainer come through. It will not be the last time we see rain today, y'all, I promise. Or this morning. It's 1 o'clock. Because we will see, we're going to watch these lines right here. Incredibly enough. We kind of called this happening, but these lines are starting to branch off into more instability in the atmosphere. This area all day hasn't seen much of anything. What's happening is these storms that are flowing through from this line, trying to grab onto whatever strength they can get, which is in this area. So what we hoped wouldn't happen is actually starting to happen as these storms are gaining strength again, lower than the line. And at the moment, we can see it's from its trajectory. If it keeps bowing south like it's trying to do, we could actually see some pretty severe weather here within the hour. Because right now we're at Spring Hill and Columbia, and these storms are moving pretty fast. So stick with us. We'll keep you updated for sure. Estill Springs, like I mentioned, some heavy rain here. And again, we'll take a look over here what's happening in Mississippi. Mississippi's got this line rolling through. The good news is this looks more like it's heading in a more eastwardly pattern than it is northeast like it normally would do in this type of storm. But we'll keep an eye on that as well. What we absolutely don't want to happen is what the model suggested is going to happen around the 2 o'clock mark, and that's these two bands of storms joining up here in the middle and then continue heading our way. But everything that was predicted from the HR model for today is happening. So if we know that that's true, around 2 o'clock, possibly even 3 o'clock, we're going to get some pretty strong storms coming in. So, a live look at Tullahoma at the moment. Pretty calm. In fact, the wind has died down quite a bit. Look at Wilson Avenue. Beautiful shot of some of these low-lying clouds rolling through. And here is a live look at Shelbyville. Still picking up some lightning strikes. Where from? Shelbyville, see. Actually, yeah. Shelbyville's looking towards Columbia. Almost guarantee it. So we're looking pretty much west with this Shelbyville camera moment, which fairly soon, and we're going to see some pretty strong storms roll into Shelbyville. So if you have friends or family in Shelbyville, and you know that they have trouble with some storm anxiety or don't have any other way to know that some strong storms are going to get to their area, please share this. At the very least, let them know for future events. If they're already in bed, probably sleep through this storm. Y'all slept through storms like this before. I know you have. We're just checking to make sure that these storms don't develop into something. Again, the good thing is that when storms roll through before this line, they tend to suck out some of that instability from the atmosphere. We have had some storms roll through before this line. Hope they do their job. Still see our temperature up at the 75-degree mark, which is plenty warm enough to add instability here. Look at other cameras here. Nothing to really show you in Alabama or Mississippi at the moment. Question is, why have a camera that doesn't have any kind of night mode on it used for weather? Of course, I'm not a camera operator. I never claimed to be. keep that camera there as we continue to look. Centerville camera off. A lot of my go-to cameras are down. Why? Well, Dave, probably because there's storm. There. Cool. Cool. If you're just joining, we are watching these storms roll through. We should start seeing a lot more activity here within the next 45 minutes or so. So we can see these lines, in fact, continue to grow as they head into Columbia and just past Franklin. And unfortunately, unless these storms here in Mississippi don't try and grab this instability up here, we could see more rounds a little bit later, 3:30, 4 o'clock mark. Keep that camera on. I'll be the If that is the base, that's the base right of the storm. That is a very, very low base. Another thing about these storms that we have to understand is that is the base. Wow. Another thing we had to realize about these storms is that the lower the cloud base, LCL, the easier it is for some of these storms to pick up strength, because the less the warm air has to travel to get to the upper atmospheric air. That's why a lot of tornadoes happen when cloud bases are low. Actually, Shelbyville looks kind of dry. It won't be. I guarantee you that. Here within the next, let's say 15 minutes or so. See some pretty strong storms. My hope is that they fizzle out. At the moment, they're just grabbing instability and growing. What's happening in Estill Springs at the moment. That what happens. So, yeah, oof. Estill Springs getting a pretty high downpour here. Hmm. Make sure that we're okay out in Estill Springs. I definitely don't like. Hmm. Moving past Estill Springs at the moment. But about to get hit again with this storm. Okay. So our storms past Columbia and heading into Mount Pleasant have actually gained some strength. So if you have any friends or relatives in Shelbyville, my advice is to let them know that they're going to see, well, it's 1 o'clock. If they're awake, they're the type of people who want to know. They're about to get some storms. Keeping an eye on this storm heading into Shelbyville. Shelbyville is right above my head. We have seen many storms today that have done quite a bit of damage. Hope is that our area gets spared. We're hoping that I've looked at Tupelo, Mississippi. A shaky cam, shaking its head no to the storm. Lawrence, Alabama. Then Linville, Tennessee. Finally seeing some lightning, rain. So this area right there, right here, Shelbyville. This storm as it flows through. Again, we have seen this storm, this line, as it's moved in this direction. It's starting to branch out and grab these little pieces of unstable air like this as it Wow. Live look from Wilson Avenue. Difference of view makes, huh? Still watching these storms. We're watching these storms form off. You are northwest. See this line into our above my head. We see Shelbyville. We've got some pretty severe weather heading into Shelbyville. It's almost certainly these storms are going to continue to travel in this direction. This here going to find us. These are gaining in strength, unfortunately. Two of us. Hmm. So I'm actually kind of concerned with this area right here. See a pretty well defined hook there. Normally we won't see tornadoes form on the along the line. You'll see it develop behind the line, downflow, where the rear flank downdraft happens. But there is a little sign of rotation here. What we mean by that is, let's do this real quick. See this notch here is the rear flank downdraft. So all the cooler air in the atmosphere falling of area where moisture is actually flowing into the storm, and it creates this counterclockwise rotation. But if you compare it to where we see an actual hook on the map, I have to look at the next few scans, see if this intensifies. But as far as, you know, what we can say currently is there does look, it looks like there's a little bit of rotation. Also see a little bit of hidden rotation here as well, if that grows. A lot of lightning there. That is for. But just to be crystal clear, these won't die out enough to not hit Shelbyville. And I'm almost positive they won't die out enough that it won't hit us here in Tullahoma. Wow, some interesting things happening out near Winchester and Sewanee as these two separate smaller cells have joined up. A little bit of high wind there, or high wind there with them as well. Colmont, let's see. Sewanee, Tracy City. You're going to see some of that as well. So at the moment, that's in south of Columbia. Shelbyville's about another 10 minutes away from seeing that front edge. We have a live camera of Shelbyville right above my head. And then shortly thereafter, Tullahoma will see the effects of what's more than likely just south of Columbia, depending on how the storm starts moving. I've come to realize this, though. Tullahoma is an enigma. I don't understand. You'll see storms pop up all around the state. Pulaski gets slammed. All the storms coming through and hitting Lynchburg, and it's almost like there's a bubble on Tullahoma. I'm not complaining. Almost like there's a bubble over Tullahoma where things just go. I'm not saying Tullahoma is the place where things go to die, but storms especially. Wow. Look at that shelf. This is Shelbyville. It's live. You can actually see that wall right there. Shelf. And you see the cloud base down here when light. Very low cloud. Oh wait, it's late. Sorry. The lower cloud level, the base of the storm is quite low. We are watching Shelbyville live at the moment as the storm rolls in. I think the storm will more hit Shelbyville than it will us. What a great view. And you don't even have to stand on. See it. So there's a new tornado warning. Quarter size hail. This is right by Riceville. Let's see. See this well-defined hook right here? Defined hook. Wow. That's pretty strong rotation right there. Uh, hmm. Yeah. So, you can see here, what us to believe a pretty good debris signature. You see the velocity signature. See the hook. That's is radar indicated, but it might be upgraded to observed here soon. That tornado. Out near, if you know anybody in Riceville or Etowah, Inglewood, Tellico Plains, Poplar Hill, let them know now. Get in their safe spot. Marina Hills for sure. Lamontville. Piney Grove. Oh, that area. Let them know. Get in their spot. Stay safe for the next, wow, expires in 44 minutes. Now you can see the high winds rolling into Shelbyville at the moment. Shelbyville's absolutely seeing it right now. So, just to reiterate, wide, and we just saw why. The same storms that started in this area, just past Tullahoma, just produced a tornado. Let's see how far. 70 miles to our east. 70 miles east of us. This storm system is still capable, has plenty of energy. It is still very capable of producing tornadoes. If you know anybody who might still be awake, that still needs this information, that you know has no clue about the weather, who needs this information tonight, you can see it in the camera. Right? Shaking, high winds, getting ready to hit Shelbyville. You're still another 10 miles out with that wind. You know anybody, let them know about this stream. Let them know, if not about the stream, give them an app. I use two. One of them is free. One is called WeatherWise. But there are apps on the App Store. Weather Channel app has notifications. There are apps that act as a weather radio that will actually ring a siren to wake people up, let them know about that. But the storm's coming into our area at the moment, specifically Shelbyville, within the next 5 minutes or so. They're strong. So you're looking at winds that could, be upwards of 40 miles per hour heading into Shelbyville at the moment. All right, y'all, the line's almost on us. And if you know anybody in Shelbyville that needs this information, shoot it out there. Beautiful lightning show, though. All right, Shelbyville, we're watching you. Bad thing about this, Shelbyville, is that you're going to see these strong storms for a little bit. It's going to be a 5-minute summer storm. This is going to be a lot of this line. Checking real quick on this tornado warned area over here. That's a tough signature right there, y'all. Check out that hook on that storm right there. That is well defined. The velocity on that is high. I should have gotten up and stretched before this line got here. Now it's too late. What happens when you're just so into the radar you can't get up? I'm going to stretch my back for a little. You can see in this large image of Shelbyville at the moment. These SLCs, call them. Scary looking clouds. That's what they are at the moment. unless we start seeing rotation. Clouds that kind of dip down with these strong winds starts to scare everybody. These are just precipitation that is reaching down a little bit further than the line before it. Scary looking clouds. If this happens with the warm air rising into the cold atmosphere, then we start to have helicity happen and we have a problem. At the moment, we're just looking at SLCs. Yeah. You do actually see radar. A little bit of that rotation in. See if that grows. Because flip over to, that's in the wrong place, huh? That would be in the, here. So we'll keep watching the Shelbyville. It's going. The Shelbyville you are experiencing, what just rolled through just south of Columbia. Tullahoma, my hope is this line continues to be capped to the north. Once again, proving that when storms precede this line, it adds a little bit of stability to the atmosphere around it. I agree with you. Pray for safety for everybody in the path of these storms, especially with what happened to Somerset area in Kentucky earlier this evening. They absolutely got destroyed by not just one, we believe 2 or 3 different tornadoes. One was probably EF4 to F5, and that was the first. So many people left homeless that were left out in the elements for when hail and another tornado rolled through. If you want, you can rewind this stream. Let's see. Been going for almost 2 hours now. I probably showed it about 30 minutes ago. Some images of the London airport in Kentucky that housed evac and hospital helicopters just got destroyed. There was an image, crystal clear image of the tornado that touched down in Somerset. You can rewind back and see those. Again, there's one tornado warning that's for a storm that was here about an hour ago that started over here. That's heading into, if you know anybody in Etowah, Piney Grove, Poplar Hill, Beth Salem, Zion Hill. If you know anybody in that region, let them know. Take cover for the next 30 minutes until that tornado warning subsides around them. Back here in Bill. It doesn't look too bad at the moment. We're looking at all right, now this is what I'm talking about right here. We'll watch this out near Wartrace as well. Wartrace heading into Manchester. Y'all be safe. You see just a slight bit of rotation now happening. You can see this warm air being sucked up into this rear flank downdraft. Actually, a couple areas. That's one most defined because there is also a hook that goes with this. Most of the time when you see these that are inside of a line, not really a reason to be alarmed just yet. If they continue for a few passes of the radar scan and they grow in intensity, that's when you start to get concerned. So. Tullahoma, at the moment, I think we're going to catch just the tail end of what's in Shelbyville right now. That's not to say that what we've seen happen in front of this line, which is a lot of this area right here extend down, isn't going to happen with this line near Lewisburg as well. And then we have some more near Hohenwald and Linden. It's going to make its way our way. Shoot, y'all, we might be past 3 a.m. getting through this. Pretty high winds with that. That's close to 60 miles an hour right here. Right there, you're looking at about 60 miles an hour heading into, and we're going to have a perfect shot. So I'm going to put this on a larger screen. Shelbyville, you are going to see some pretty strong winds, as we can see right now. Are from live camera in Shelbyville, Tennessee. And our temperatures have not dropped. One of the ingredients that's going to take away the severity of these storms that are going to roll in. So, why don't you take a look at this with me? Just so I can show you. Now we've seen the next scan of the radar, right? Thing that you'll look for in these signatures is a hook. You have here, it's when the warm moist air comes up, joins in with this downward draft of colder air, right? You always want to pair that with the signature on radar for velocity. So our radar is down in this area. Sorry, y'all. Down in this area. So when you look at velocity on radar, red means it's moving away from the radar. Green means it's moving towards. When you see a tight section of bright reds and bright greens, that means that there is a tight rotation signature on velocity. When you team that with a shot of reflectivity, see a hook, which this scan died down a little bit in that hook, thankfully. It's usually a sign that there's a radar indicated tornado. Also, as you can tell above me, Shelbyville, there's a lot of lightning. We talked about this earlier in this stream. There's a lot of lightning in a storm. It means there's a lot of energy, right? Heat has to be released through energy. As it travels up and it causes friction between the colder air and the ice that is in the upper atmosphere, causes friction. Friction causes electricity, and a lot of times you see cloud to cloud lightning. 80% of the lightning you'll see is cloud. Sometimes you'll see on the ground. But the more lightning in a storm, the stronger the energy it has to create damage. And that's my speech. SPC just released new notice for this area down here in Mississippi. And it was just issued for a tornado watch. What we've seen through the past. Let's take a look at the radar quick. Oh, it's going to be a long night, y'all. This might go to our south, but it looks like these have actually intensified as storms to our southwest. Hopefully they'll stay that way. It does look like these single cells that are breaking off, the smaller cells here are diminishing. Let's hope they keep doing that and they don't make it our way. Take a look. Still radar indicated out there in Etowah. You know anybody in Etowah, please let them know to get in their safe places, their safe spots, as there's a tornado warning for the next 21 minutes in Etowah. It's going to make its way towards Consaga and Jalapa, Jacktown region. If you know anybody out there, let them know. head back to Shelbyville. Shelbyville, we're about to see on camera, y'all. The 60-mile-an-hour wind heading to Shelbyville. Again, what I do only works when it reaches people. So share this, send this to somebody who's awake right now and scared of weather. It is 2 a.m., so nothing is warned yet. So don't wake anybody up if it's not necessary. You've slept through something like this. Definitely. But it's about to get rowdy, y'all. Shelbyville. Yeah, I'm usually in bed by now. Do it because I love it. 2 factors in remaining online with this stream. If I have to take cover because we're under a tornado warning, you'll see this and you'll hear this. That's what you'll see. We're not under tornado warning. I'm just giving you an example of what you will see if we are. Second factor in me going offline is I lose internet, in which case, follow the Twitter channel, Red Rock WX on Twitter as well. I'll give live updates there. I do have a way to stream from my phone and show radar. You won't see my face, but you will see a radar and you'll hear my voice. So if I go offline, we'll go back on live with a very simplified stream. Job is to keep you safe. This line has started to take a more southeast approach to its direction. There's good news and bad news. Bad news is the direction it's heading, Tullahoma will see some of it, as Shelbyville is already seeing at the moment. The good news is it does look like some of these are fizzling out as they head towards our area. Hope they'll keep that path as they head in. There is a cam in Hohenwald. Let me see if I can find that. That's a rowdy camera out. See if I can find this camera in Hohenwald. We can take a live look. Yeah. All right. So now we can take a look. Hohenwald. You just had the storm roll through, but they're going to get another round coming from the upper Parson. All right, y'all. Tornado warning has 15 minutes left on it. Still radar indicated. There really isn't a strong debris signature on this anymore. So it's radar indicated at the moment. Means that it has a velocity. It's got the signature. But debris signature actually tells you, hey, something's on the ground picking up stuff that's larger than rain, for sure. Some lightning strikes out in Shelbyville. On this storm here. I'll also check. Seeing this? High wind coming to Shelbyville. Manchester. You know anybody in Manchester? Let them know that they're about to get a pretty rough patch of weather. You can actually see in Tullahoma, the winds picked up a bit. Quite a bit, actually. Our weather in Tullahoma is going to come from the left-hand side of that that video that you see. Live view of downtown. There's Wilson Avenue. Still watching this storm head into Shelbyville. Yeah, let's get a multicam. We can take some views of everywhere. So Shelbyville, you're gonna see this line probably for the next half an hour at least, maybe even longer. Got 9 minutes on the tornado warning. Hopefully that expires. Manchester. Again, you're just now seeing this storm roll through. Pretty high winds with it. Shelbyville. Keep on trucking, y'all. There's a line up near Chapel Hill that is gaining a little bit of strength. Same line that came in from Spring Hill. Well, actually came in from Columbia. Wow, yeah. That's there's Tupelo, Mississippi. If this line continues to gain strength and move more to the north, we could see this line somewhere around 3:30, 4 o'clock. rough. All right, Tullahoma. Let's get ready to rumble. So what you're going to see here, these lines are going to break into separate cells here. Kind of gain a little bit of strength, hopefully not too much as they head into our area. We are going to see some lightning. We are going to see some rain. Don't be scared, be prepared. Again, our tornado watch has another 49 minutes on it. Whether that's extended or not up to me. That's up to the National Weather Service. Watching this line up near Manchester, McMinnville area, Morrison area. Spitting off some different rotation signatures. There's one near Irving College, Stepsville, Spring Creek. That looks pretty rowdy. There's also one that looks a little rowdy near Beersheba Springs, just north of Altamont. We'll keep an eye on those as well. Now, all this lightning that's coming with these storms is in Columbia at the moment. And from the look of it, we're going to see those head into our area. Beautiful. So our tornado warning for let's see if we can come back. Our tornado warning to the east has expired, which is good. As it crosses into Tellico Plains, Rattlesnake Rock, some cool names. Rush Mountain, Jenkins Meadow. Has expired. Whoever you know in that area that has been sheltered, you can tell them to come out. Also watching this signature near Saudi Daisy. Looking pretty strong there. A little bit of a rotation up in the atmosphere on that one. All right, countdown. 5 minutes. Did we get some high winds, some rain, thunder? Ooh. Boy, y'all. Take a look at Tupelo. Again, our hope is that the storms will either die out. Ooh. Got a lightning show in Tupelo. The hope is that they die off or they start a more eastwardly direction in their path that are in the Tupelo, Mississippi area. We don't want to see those grow in strength and just like we predicted, seeing it happen, y'all. These separate little cells started forming up in this area starting to form into more organized cell systems. Head into our area. Right here. Heading towards us. See if this one continues on the same path. So it'll go a little bit to our south. We'll still see some effects from that though. So Shelbyville, still not out of the woods yet. Not out of the woods yet. Gonna have quite a bit more on the storm front. Gonna get what's coming down from Columbia. We're definitely starting to see above me. We got downtown Tullahoma. Can't point. So confused. Here, Wilson Avenue, Shelbyville, right there. You see the winds pick up downtown Tullahoma. Here's what I ask. I don't do it often. Subscribe to the channel. Share it if you can. Be awesome. This only works if people actually watch it. Not it's just me talking to the air, which I do quite often. Really. And then click on notifications for the channel. We'll only go live when there's severe weather coming in. Streaming now for 2 hours and almost 20 minutes. At the moment, we've actually had great success with a lot of the storms heading to our north that are severe warned. At the moment, you know, you're talking about Sevierville, Lenoir City, Smoky Mountains, Johnson City, Tusculum. They're seeing the worst from the lines at the moment. And then we do have some down in Mississippi that that are starting to strengthen to their north. It's awesome. It's not awesome. I like sleep, regardless of what anybody says. I like sleep a lot. All right. All right, y'all, stick with me. Main event's here, at least for our area. Hmm. There's a signature. That same storm that dropped a tornado earlier, or was signature, was radar indicated in Etowah, still has quite a bit of a signature of rotation on it. But out near Zydeco Creek Wilderness, let's see. Rafter, Tennessee, heading into Tapaco and Yellow Creek. Heading out there. Madisonville also has some pretty strong stuff at the moment. Right. Normandy, Manchester, even down near Lynchburg. You're going to see some of the strong stuff come up on you here. Next, with 10 minutes in Lynchburg, Tullahoma, you got about 3 minutes. Maybe 4. Not 5. That's too much. All right. So, just off to our west. Probably heading more into Lynchburg, South Tullahoma, Estill Springs area. Well, no, it's heading for us. We do see about 50 mile an hour straight line winds near coming near Tullahoma. Well, you got to give me credit for calling it correctly. 4 minutes on the dot. And we start seeing the precipitation coming in Tullahoma. and high winds. Tullahoma is just above me. How did I do it? Wilson Avenue's here. Shelbyville's here. I'm going to stretch just for 1 second, y'all. I got to. Oh, the smartest thing I've done tonight. Choose to sit in a chair that has a hard seat on it. 41. Well, the lightning strike brought me back. We're just seeing the beginning of this. Homa. It's out near Bottle Hollow, near Hilltop, Black Creek, all coming our way. And it is 50 mile an hour gusts. Well, it's pretty heavy rain. Tullahoma at the moment. There's some pretty heavy precipitation in Tullahoma at the moment. We are going to see an increase of winds. if there was a signature of hail with this at all, we would get a severe warning. I don't think we're going to get that, but anything can happen. Now, I want to show you this as well. The good news and bad news with this line. Number one, I don't know if there's any good news. This whole line from Hohenwald moving down through Lewisburg, it's all going to make its way towards us. I believe we got at least another hour. Outflow boundary. Leading line there before the storm. I put a reset that storm system. Shelbyville, you're about to see rain again coming in from the Chapel Hill area, Unionville area. Now we're seeing some severe thunderstorm warnings down to the Florence area. Yeah, we definitely skirted some of the worst stuff that this line has produced. Just east of Madisonville, near Tallahassee. In some pretty severe weather at the moment. And that straight line wind has been just south of Shelbyville for quite a while. It will make its way towards us if the storm continues. Same strength. And in that same line, there's some lightning attached to that, so. Actually heading a little bit into Lynchburg. Catch the top end of that. This area. Right here. tomorrow, the SPC has put us in a marginal risk of weather. A lot better than we were today. Pop-up showers. That's primarily in the morning. Parts of Oklahoma and a lot of Kansas. So Sunday, we're under a marginal. So 1 out of 5. There is a slight chance that next week we're going to see some severe weather as well. Day 5 outlook has just off to our west, or 50% chance. Which these storms had those outlooks. Yeah. We're just watching these lines slowly move in. And once again, the life cycle of these storms, as we've seen all day, they'll break and they'll form into stronger cells that will continue on their way until they finally die, which they really haven't done. In fact, we can say pretty concretely that they're still pretty strong out near Sevierville at the moment. Looks like most of the lightning associated with this storm will go just south of Tullahoma to the Estill Springs. Lynchburg, that area. Shelbyville, we still got a little bit to go. I'm sorry. And these storms that are rolling in, starting to gain in strength and actually form more organized cells as they move into Tullahoma. We have 14 minutes left on our tornado watch. Actually forming quite a bit as they head into Lynchburg. You know anybody in Lynchburg? About to see a pretty strong storm. "60-mile-an-hour winds, strong lightning." About to get hit. First on stream gone. That you're here with me. Lynchburg, down near Boonville, Belleville area. Keeping an eye on you very closely. There's some concerning spots. A little bit of rotation on radar with what you got going on. Flicker. Hopefully we can keep it on. All right, so moving into Lynchburg. About 60-mile-an-hour winds, lots of lightning. Shelbyville also seeing some lightning. Moment. These downtown Tullahoma at the moment. Look from Wilson Avenue at the moment. Shelbyville. Can't believe there's people still up watching this with me. Thanks for being here. If you're anything like me, I like to keep track of what's going on around me. So thank you for joining me. We'll keep you safe. All right, so Shelbyville. About to see some lightning as well. I know you've been seeing it. Oklahoma, as we can see, pretty heavy rain, a little bit of wind. All right, so good news down below us. Here, the Alabama storms are taking a more eastward track. So, what we don't want is to see these join up with this line that's already in place, which it could happen. It won't. There's your strong winds and rain. So out near Cornersville, Pulaski, storms are rolling through. Heading this way. Actually, they're going to head a little bit south of us. They're going to go more towards the Winchester way. Just like we thought, around the 3 o'clock hour, we're seeing some heavy stuff, y'all. Winds and rain until I do have some very good news for y'all. From what I see, because we're receiving these storms at the moment, we're going to have some strong thunderstorms. And because what's happening down here, kind of dying off on this line, right? Let's see this. They did extend our tornado watch out 30 minutes, it looks like. 3:30. Once this expires, 32 minutes, I'm not sure that we're going to have too much more in the way of severe weather in our area. Keep an eye on this Columbia, Mount Pleasant area. But I don't think we're going to see much more past that. So we all get to go to sleep. But before that happens, like we might get about 45, 50 mile an hour winds coming into our area here within the next 20 minutes. Yep, so down in the Lynchburg area, seeing right now, pretty high winds coming to Lynchburg. All right, y'all. So our tornado watch has expired. Honestly, this rain that we're getting now, kind of killed the atmosphere. Kind of killed the has killed the instability. So that's not to say we won't receive some storms. We can actually see some small blips form into this line coming at us. Looking out here towards Columbia as well. These actually look like they're dying down as well. So after this main event comes here in the next 10, 15 minutes, I think we'll be good to shut her down, y'all. And the other good news is, looks like we're still going to see some pretty strong wind. We're not going to see anywhere near 60 though. Well, I say that. Might get some gusts up to 50 miles an hour here shortly. Yawn number 2. Shelbyville, looks like you're going to have one more downpour. Let's see. And then you should be good. in Tullahoma. We're going to see 1, 2, 3. About 3 lines. After this first one, I don't see much of severe stuff coming. Might see some high winds around 4 a.m. Other than that, we're just going to see some thunderstorms tonight. I'm watching this formation here near Fayetteville. It's going to gain some strength, I believe. What in the world? Y'all, not a joke. Check this out. It's Florence, Alabama. What is that? What is that? No clue. No clue what that was. Power flashes? Power surges? What's going on down there? I have no clue. All right. Actually, Tullahoma, we're gonna get another round here in about 10. I'll stay with you till then. What do you say? You and me. Let's do it. I will say this. Come morning time, we are going to see some pretty pretty horrific reports from Kentucky, especially the Somerset area. Be praying for him. People who live there, need your prayers. Keep an eye on the news and see how you can help. All right, Lynchburg. And now we can see a little bit of a direction change in the storms, right? We're heading down this direction. And now they're starting to come up this direction. So, just like we hope would happen, storms south of us that went past, actually didn't even really go past Florence. Started moving off to the east, not the north, which is great. We've actually seen minimal amount of break off here. What I can see, as long as these start going southeast, I don't know how many of these will actually form into any more storms this evening. Take a look out more to our west. Yeah. There's another great thing. The wind died down, came into Tullahoma. So we are watching what's out near Lewisburg at the moment, though. A little bit of elevated winds with that storm. Again, let's actually go to To Shelbyville. Camera on you. Mama. To Shelbyville, you should be seeing a little bit of elevated winds with the storm that's rolling in right now. All right, we are watching this storm. Coming up from the Boonville, Lynchburg area. Finally see a shift in direction. See, the more distant these two storms are right here, the better we are. So I believe after we're done with this next line, I might head to bed. Isn't that crazy? Little rumble of thunder. All right, y'all, in about 5 minutes. Had the storm rolling through. Okay. So The latest scans underneath Lynchburg. You can see that signature. Pretty heavy hail. Or not hail. Forgive me. Pretty heavy rain. Woof. Heading into the Beach Hill area. Nothing as far as spin up, but pretty heavy downpour just south of Lynchburg. It's what that's what I do when I'm tired. Start saying things like, you got heavy hail coming. Quite a bit of thunder and lightning. Which is coming with that line, moving right underneath Lynchburg. Again, that happens when this storm below us starts joining up with the line that is on us, starts strengthening. So we're very glad that this Alabama section of storms tonight stayed in its own state. A little bit of relief. One more stretch before we end. All right. So taking a look at these storms. Almost through it, y'all. I promise. After this line, they have broken up significantly. Might hear some rumblings of thunder while you sleep, but we can officially head off to Sleepy Town. And I know it doesn't reflect it up above, but we're sitting at right about 65, 64 degrees now. Efficiently capping off the storms. All right, Shelbyville, go to sleep. I'm going to give us here in Tullahoma the green light as well. Or check around, who we're working with. Like Estill Springs is about to get some heavy rain and some lightning. Cowan, Sewanee, about to get the same. And then heading into Bidwell, Blakeville, Belleville, Fayetteville, about to get the same. Just some thunderstorms. So we once again escaped some severe weather. I do appreciate you joining me. Like I said, share it around, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications. That way when we go live, when severe weather happens, you can know. And see you next time. Keep